I'm Counselor Fox. I am a family and trauma counselor and founder of Fox Adoption and Counseling LLC and the developer of Remm. This is a specially developed therapy for PTSD, stress, and anxiety. And along with former U.S. Army Specialist McLean, he helped me develop the military and first responder version of Remm, specifically for the purpose of those of you who have invisible injuries and other traumatic um, issues, problems, occurrences, and would like to have them healed, fixed, repaired, and be able to move on. So I can help you do that through Remm. So in this video, we're going to be talking about what happens after your PTSD event, after the traumatic injury to the head, TBI, after the concussion, PC, or after extreme and hyper stress for a very short period of time, ASD. So what we want to do is we want to look today at post-traumatic growth, or PTG. Now, not much is written on this subject. There are not too many articles or books that you can find that address post-traumatic growth. There are hundreds and hundreds of books on how to diagnose PTSD and the symptoms of, and there are, of course, a good handful of therapies out there. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and EMDR, those off the top of my head are two that do work. The problem is, as I address in the 30-minute presentation, they don't address continued care. There isn't a whole lot of support outside of one-on-one therapist contact or small group contact for a short amount of time. And the healing part, the only thing that I would question is EMDR is a process of allowing the brain to refocus on something other than what it wants to focus on. So if it gets to the very heart of healing, I would need to have somebody prove that to me. I find healing comes from a number of different areas, but directly it comes from our ability to be healed if that's what we seek. We can be fixed, but not really healed. So, seeing as how there's not much writing on the subject of PTG, we can turn to, however, a very good prime example of a country that has shown great post-traumatic growth in the face of great adversity. Studies of communities in Israel that were exposed to repetitive rocket fire attacks. We won't go into how many rockets were fired and who hit what and who defended what and who shot first. We won't go into that. What we want to focus on is the fact that a community was under fire from repetitive rocket attack. Okay? So in these studies, they compared that the residents of Israel compared favorable to non-exposed matched control communities in terms of mental health indicators. So despite the exposure to chronic rocket attacks, despite the exposure to attacks of all types at any moment, but especially hearing the rocket siren go off and then hearing the whistle of the rocket before it lands, hearing the explosion, counting the seconds, wondering how many miles or thousands of feet it is away. So despite all of that, this particular country, these communities, have evidenced resilience in the face of extreme trauma. They found that their common ideology, okay, is what brought them together, along with solidarity, social resources of communal life provided by a means of protection against stress. So they, within the country, have done multiple studies of how to best deal with this resilience issue, and they have come up with a set of um, techniques and methods that work quite well. Resilience has spurred post-traumatic growth. Um, it's a relatively new psychological term that evolved from studying those who are resilient to the effects of trauma and who were not, just like the study that we brought up about Israel. So there are several writers that will tell you there are basically 5 areas of post-traumatic growth. There's 5 words that you can take home with you to work on as far as post-traumatic growth. That would be opportunity, relationships, strength, appreciation, and growth. Okay, so let's go through those one by one, and then we'll wrap this video up. Opportunities emerge from a struggle where none existed before, new possibilities. Change in personal relationships occur, often becoming stronger. Increased strength in body and mind to face anything after that struggle, or the struggle, or a particular struggle. Greater appreciation for life and all that it offers, and deepening of their spiritual lives, experiencing growth. So those are the 5 areas of PTG, post-traumatic growth, that we can help you learn, apply, and manage as part of Remm. So to learn more, please go to my website, which is remmworks.webs.com. Send me an email at remmworks42@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter at remmworks, that's REMMWORKS, and you can also like my Facebook page /remmworks. I'm Counselor Fox. Thank you so much for joining me today, and God bless you.